Today we're going to get drenched. Hope you brought your snorkel.
I brought my water wings like that guy.
Too bad. They're not of any use. If you fall in the water in this level, you're dead.
Oh, I guess I shouldn't have brought this shitload of sodium.
Put that down. Put that down.
But if it gets wet, it'll explode.
Like, cool.
Was that really, like, cool, though?
I mean, if you really think about it.
It's like cool, but not really cool.
The
Cool-esque.
little launcher there only takes 2 missiles, contrary to most of the little green min launchers, sorry, that we've seen so far. And grenades are still useless. Supposedly this music is... Oh wait, no. I'm sorry. I was mistaken. I was thinking of a different level's music.
I'll forgive you one day.
These enemies throw the javelins, are the longest projectiles, and one of the hardest to avoid.
What was up with that hand?
There's
Yeah.
a tree, it's a very angry tree.
It's a killer tree, is what the hint bubble said. We throw dudes in the water in the same sort of way that we did back in Gulag, and they behave mostly the same. They become lifeless stiffs. I fell in the water for a bit earlier to demonstrate that Wex can actually go in the water, but unless you can find a safe edge, then you're fucked. And that's a very rare occurrence.
It's hard to tell where the water starts, for me at least. It's got kind of... It's not very
yeah.
clear.
It doesn't actually have a texture. It's just implied by textures around it.
Basically, if you're not standing on solid ground, you're probably gonna fall in water.
Mm-hmm. This is one of the more interesting levels, and this is a unique enemy, and I got to demonstrate that the missiles go off the regular axis into the background there.
Like, cool.
This is a really long level, and this level, I think, breaks the record for giving you the most 1-ups. Probably around 4 to 5.
I've counted 2 so far. I might have missed one.
Yeah, usually they give you like 1 per level, but not even.
So, what are you trying to accomplish here?
We have to rescue our allies, which we will find at the end of the level.
So, do we owe them money or something?
No, the evil protagonist, Karn, has captured all of our people and threw them on random-ass planets or something.
Wow.
I posted the story, the manual scan that explains it all in the op, but I don't feel like reciting it.
You call this informative.
Here's the information. But I'm not gonna read it to you, because I'm not your dad.
Push the button, make the guy jump.
Woo! In the event that I am your dad, I'm so sorry.
We all are.
I brought 2 guys to that last pit, mostly because getting that gear, or life, or whatever it was, is usually very difficult. And the enemies don't cooperate and land in the right spot.
Think you could have made that with only 1 person?
Yeah, if you're feeling lucky. You don't have to collect all the gears, and you have no incentive to whatsoever if you're decent enough at the game, because of all the lives that it gives you.
This game at fault damage.
No, you just faceplant.
Yeah.
This enemy here reminds me of that vulture from Crash Bandicoot 2.
Oh yeah, this whole level kind of reminds me of Crash 3, the tar levels.
Yeah. Oh yeah, where the dinosaur stages. Yes.
Yeah, that enemy is really hard because of the tracking on the missiles doesn't always work. And the overgenerous ledge grab has damned me more than once while playing this game. I was scoping around for secrets because this level has way more than any other level. It
What
makes
type of
me-
what type of
Just
secrets
like-
are we talking here? Like invisible walls, or
Fortunately, nothing that bad. Just stuff that's slightly out of frame, and for sometimes in this game, the camera, it'll like go completely too close and then put a lot of stuff out of your visibility range, and it makes you paranoid.
So is that just an enemy spawn over there?
Yeah, if there's an enemy thing that requires us to throw dudes into it, then there will always be a spawner to retrieve enemies from nearby.
guessing you can't get past that that crushy tree hand without an enemy?
No, I don't even think you can. Well, you wouldn't be able to naturally jump over it, and even if you could, there'd be like an invisible barrier above it.
Oh, okay. I'm liking these little natives to this planet. Are these unique enemies here, or have we seen these guys all over the place and I'm just dumb?
Every level has its own variant of the shock troopers, and basically every level has its own unique enemy, which makes this game very notable for having that sort of stuff.
Bringing up Crash.
Did this game come out before or after Daikatana?
1999.
This was 99, and maybe I actually don't know when Daikatana came out myself.
I think it was 2001. I can't be certain.
I was gonna say that regarding enemy variation, I liked that Crash Bandicoot had that. It seemed a lot of PlayStation platformers seemed to have that.
Yeah, Spyro 2 I think had it, with sometimes the enemies be wearing snow attire.
Yeah.
Again,
Skull.
bashing my skull on shit just so that I could find secrets.
It's worse for Mario.
It's not without purpose, because I think it's right here. No, in a section that's shaped just like that one, there's a life hidden later on. And it, again, makes me paranoid when I play through the game the second time. And every other time. Really like
So-
the visuals.
Yeah, I was gonna comment on the pipes spewing Nickelodeon slime all over the place.
This is the planet that they've harvested it all from.
It's like how they harvest mattresses from that one swamp planet.
I think the swamp aesthetic doesn't get used enough in, you know, like level themes and shit like that.
Just in general video games?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe not anymore, but I remember seeing a lot of swamps all over the place.
Like,
It was a 90s thing.
Yeah.
90s kids will know this.
I just think that, like, marshy areas have way more variation than people would give them credit for. I was like, the idea of a wetland isn't strictly, like, a swamp bog. I mean, this one is pretty much that. Thick oaks and unending water.
If you're looking for level themes, swamps are kind of the perfect mix of a woodsy forest area and a water stage.
Mm-hmm.
So perfect for being quite difficult.
Yeah.
Not enough water to make you hate it, but just enough land to justify its existence. Here's the one instance where we get to use the gear crate as a platform.
And there goes the platform.
I mean, it depends on what you want to say it's necessary for. There was a health power-up that required us using the gear crate, but that doesn't really count.
So these guys die when they fall in the water then?
Mm-hmm.
And they're natives to this planet?
Well, I think Karn put the spawners on here. I think they're
okay.
all machines, but they act surprisingly human. Like, they bleed.
The G.I. Joe type enemies, you mean?
You're gonna go in the fridge, mate.
I want to go in the fridge too. Go inside.
I like the birds.
It looks really satisfying to just bash them back and forth.
It really is, but when they give you more than one enemy, it suddenly becomes something very fun to something very painful, because there's dudes shooting their heads at you in most cases, and you're too busy slamming a dude around.
Also, there was your secret.
Yeah, it made me have to play this level over again to make sure I didn't miss anything.
That was a helpful tooltip. Levers do things.
See a little bit of. Oh no, that's just how the texture was.
Yeah,
I thought this icon was clipping through that.
What the fuck is Henry?
Henry is that spherical orb thing.
That doesn't answer my question.
When we get more of the allies, I'll post the menu art. I don't really feel like clipping it up and then serving in the descriptions of each character that we've seen so far.
So which Kirby friend is he the most like?
The fish that nobody likes.
I love the fish.
Fish bulb.
If you
Yeah, you get lightning and he puts a light bulb in his mouth.
if you've only played Kirby 64, then you don't like the fish. We split those dudes in two by poking their junk with a very sharp point.
I thought that's what was happening. I was actually trying to figure it out.
It's hard to tell with PlayStation era stuff.
Cause you jumped on that point before and didn't take any damage. You were trying to reach a high platform by jumping on him, but you just fell through.
Yeah, this.
Oh my god, you can swing him around in a full circle.
Yeah, but this was before the analog stick, so this is actually all on the D-pad.
Oh jeez.
So imagine how unsafe I felt making that swing, knowing that I would fall straight into the water and die if I fucked up.
I actually have a question regarding grappling. I don't know if I've asked this before, but can you pull some Super Metroid, like 360 spins at certain points?
You can, but it would never be feasible.
No.
It's
At least
like
knowing you can is enough for me.
it's really hard to negotiate which direction the enemy is grappled and then your movement, because they share the same stuff. I think somebody brought it up before, but if they were to ever remake this game, then having the dual axis movement and then the rig just be its own input would be phenomenal.
Wild
And-
9 HD.
I so want it.
What the hell are you doing?
I was trying to get to that platform above because it looks like a thing that I can get to, but you can't.
Yeah.
Or if you can, then I'll be damned, then I missed it.
I'm a bit puzzled why they decided to go 3D with this game.
Hiring a 2D artist would be harder.
It seems like they put a lot of work into textures, but on the PS1 you're gonna be able to see them. Because it would all be grainy and on a tiny resolution and shit.
Plus CRT buzz.
Yeah.
I don't know. I appreciated a good-looking PlayStation game back in the day.
No, it definitely looked good despite, you know, being on a CRT through the cables. I think it's a lot more sharper than it should be,
Yeah, it's got way harder edges.
but at the same time the game kind of looked like that to begin with.
Yeah, it's kind of the style.
So this guy here, he throws bombs, and he is also sporting some mad stilts. And we gotta smack him in the junk with them.
Just look at his swagger.
So he tricked
Is he
me.
dead already?
Then he starts diving through those platforms. If you ever played Bugs Bunny game on, like, I don't know, the Genesis, might remind you of the bullfight. What you're
I was
supposed
actually
to
thinking of that.
yeah.
Like that instance in particular.
I know. It's crazy.
I have a feeling that a lot of people have played that game, even though it was probably very bad.
I had no idea what the hell I was doing with that game, but I still remember it, so...
Bad game.
The first game I ever rented was Battletoads.
We kind of cheesed that
So,
fight
yeah.
by pushing him into the thing, so we're gonna stomp on him. We could have cheesed it further by having a ton of, like, missiles and shit.
I can appreciate the scripting there, to have his arms flop up and jump on it.
Jump on him a few more times and you'll get a ton of bonus lives.
Then you'll try and do it again, and it'll never happen.
Like when trying to get that coin ship in Mario 3.
The final gear was after the boss, and that made me very nervous fighting the boss. But fortunately, we got them all. Because I'm going for all the gears.
Oh.
Because if you...
Do you get something for that?
Yes. You see the number of continues on the left?
Sure.
That directly corresponds with how many actual levels we've played in this game that have platforming and shit.
Ooh. I don't get why they didn't do 2D art for this, but whatever.
Because they could afford it.
Instead of shitty mid-90s CG.
I don't know. Between that and Oddworld, I kind of like it. Although Oddworld had the patience and the presence of mind to pre-render it. But anyways, up next, Beast Engine.
The best engine.